Hello everyone, this is Edward, and in this video I'm going to was how to start up. So I'm a total beginner. How do I start up? What do I need to do? So that's what I'm gonna cover in this video. So the thing that happens most in the beginning when a person just starts working out is a lot of times, of course, the person doesn't know what he's doing. He just does what looks at others and does what they do, and sometimes maybe those other people don't know what they're doing themselves. So a lot of times the person might even just waste time. Of course, you don't completely waste time, you're still getting a workout, but if you know what you're doing in the beginning, you'll get a much faster workout and stuff like that. And another thing is, a lot of times people start to maybe they see someone do a trick, maybe like a muscle up or something, they're like, wow, I want to learn that too, you know. But the problem is they don't have the base requirements for it and the base elements maybe to start learning it. That's why in this video I'm gonna cover that. So I'm gonna cover how you can start working out. So I'm gonna try to show all the muscle groups, all the exercises you need to work out most of your body. And there we go, let's begin. So the first thing that we're gonna start off is with chin-ups. So chin-ups are really important for beginners. That's mostly the thing that all beginners do, is chin-ups. Let's start off with chin-ups because chin-ups are much easier than pull-ups. So, and sometimes even when people start off, they can't even do one pull-up, which is fine. One chin-up or one pull-up, which is fine. I'll have a link to a tutorial over here in the corner for you, how you can learn your first pull-up, and after that how you can improve and learn more pull-ups. So what chin-up works out is, when you're doing a chin-up, make sure when you're pulling up, make sure you focus on pulling up with your bicep like this. Don't just try to pull yourself up. It's not gonna do you any good. When you're pulling up, focus on flexing the bicep and pulling up with the bicep. You're gonna get the most workouts out of that. And the chin-ups also work out your forearms. The way that they work out the forearms is, if you're trying to do it a good form, once you improve and get better at pull-ups or chin-ups, try to do it as best form as you can. And the better form you do it, and the more workouts you put on your forearms. So that's the first thing. Chin-ups work out your biceps and your forearms. So that's the first couple muscles that you guys can start training. So the next thing we're going to move on is into triceps. So one of the most effective exercises for triceps is doing this. So you can also work out your triceps on a dip bar, doing dips. But dips mostly work out your chest, which we're going to move on to later on. Dips also work out your triceps, but it's going to be pretty hard to get big triceps with just dips. So this first exercise is great for triceps, especially when you move on to one arm. Doing it with one arm is going to be a really good exercise, and you'll really feel those triceps. So what we're going to do in this exercise is we'll need a bar. Dip bar usually works for this the best. It doesn't have to be a tall dip bar like this. It can be even a much shorter bar. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off in the beginning with having two arms like this. Go a little bit more back like this. If it's hard for you in the beginning, you can go a little bit closer. So what you're doing is put your elbows in more like this. So don't have them out this way. Put them more in like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in there and push out like this. Put your elbows bended, and as you get better, you step more out. You step more out. Keep your arms bent. Keep your elbows in like this. And do this exercise. This is going to be the first exercise for triceps for total beginners. And remember, when you're doing this exercise, don't bend your back. You're focusing on this exercise on doing it on triceps and not on focusing your back. So when you're doing this, when you're going in, don't just bend your back in like this. You're focusing on your triceps. So try to keep your back as straight as possible. Your arms in, your elbows in, and going in like this. You don't have to go through all the way like this. All you have to do is come up till here and push out with your triceps. So only use your triceps when you're doing this. Once you're down here, don't just try to push yourself out with momentum. That's not going to do you any good. You have to push yourself out with your triceps. If it's hard for you, like I said, step a little bit closer. And as you get better, step more out, more and more out. And after you get used to this exercise, you can move on to a much more advanced exercise, which is really good for triceps. Same thing with this exercise, you start off with one hand. And of course it's going to be really hard in the beginning to do it more out. So come up closer, same thing, put your elbows more in, like this. And start off doing the same thing, except now, for this, you're not going in over here. What you're doing is, you're going on the arm, over here, like this. And push out with your triceps, like this. Keep your elbow in, don't have it out like this, and don't go this way. Keep it more in this way. Come up closer if it's harder. And same thing. Only use your tricep and push out with your tricep like this. Don't just push it out like that. And as you get better, step more out. And doing this exercise. So this is one of the best exercises you guys can do with body weights to work out your triceps. And like I said, you can also do dips. But dips aren't as great for tricep workouts as this exercise, especially the one arm. So there you go, this is the third exercise for triceps. Now we're gonna move on to chest. So one of the most useful exercises you guys can do to work out your chest in the beginning is push-ups. Mostly everyone can start off with push-ups. People don't really have a hard time doing them. So in the beginning, don't focus a lot on, if you can't do that many push-ups, maybe if you can do 5 or even 10 push-ups barely, don't focus a lot on doing them in perfect form. And of course, don't do them as bad form as you can. Try to do them as best form as you can. So you don't have to do it perfect form, like I said. So which push-ups, the best push-ups to work out for your chest is regular push-ups. There's also more wider push-ups, and there's a lot of different varieties of push-ups. But in the beginning, start off with just regular push-ups. And as you get better, try to start doing the push-ups as perfect form as you can, and start doing them slower. So like this. Slower. And a better form. The better form you do it, the more workouts you're gonna get. You can also work out your chest with dips. Dips are really great to work out your chest, but the only problem is, it's for most of the beginners, it's really hard to do dips, even couple dips. So that's why I would recommend to first start up in the beginning, start doing push-ups. Once you get good at push-ups, then you can move on to dips. So you can switch up your variety. It's always good to switch up. So, and for dips, you don't have to go, all you have to do for dips is go 90 degrees. So once you're doing dips, all you have to do is go 90 degrees. And you're good, like this. So dips are our second exercise that's also great to work out your chest. So there you go, that's the first two exercises. Like I said, first start off with push-ups, improve, then start doing slower push-ups, more perfect form, and then you can move on to dips. It should be much easier for you to start doing dips after push-ups. And there you go, that's your chest. So now we're going to move on to abs. So a lot of times people start working out their abs, they watch all these like maybe videos and stuff like that, or maybe see people do crunches and stuff like that and all those exercises. The only problem with those exercises is, let's say crunches, they mostly work out your upper abs. But you also need your lower abs, which most of the people don't always work out. And they end up of having the topper abs and they don't really have anything on the bottom. It's covered maybe with just a little bit of body fat. So this exercise is a great exercise because it trains your full ab. So what you're going to do is, when you're laid on the ground like this, whatever you are working out at home or anywhere, so what you're going to do is hold your arms like this or out. This way is, so what you're going to do is, we're going to pick our arms. So we're kind of going to do a crunch, but except a little bit different. So, and we're going to pick up our legs. So we're going to go like in a little V form, like this, and lower ourselves. So coming in together, like this. So the great thing about this exercise is, like I said, it works out the full abs.
So what you have to do for this exercise is, remember, when you're picking yourself with your arms like this, focus on flexing your abs. Once you're not supposed to just bring your arms in. Once you're going up, you're supposed to bring yourself up with the abs. So once you're going up, flex on the abs. Once you're going up over here. And also for the legs, you're not supposed to lower them all the way down. You'll have to keep them up at all times. So once we're coming up, flex your abs over here, like this, and lower them till here. Coming up, lowering to here. Don't ever drop them, because if you drop them, then you're not gonna work out the lower abs. And once we're coming in like this, we're working out the full ab. And remember, when you're doing this, try to keep your abs tightened. So don't just go up and down fast. Go slower with a good pace. Once you learn how to do this with a good pace, like this, that should be a great workout for that.
So now I'm going to show you guys exercises how to work out your back. Some things that I didn't mention in I believe my first exercise when I showed you guys, I talked about chin-ups. Chin-ups also work out your back, but not as good as pull-ups. So once you learn how to do a good amount of chin-ups, start moving on to pull-ups. And the way you work out your back with pull-ups is just doing regular pull-ups, and try to, when you're doing pull-ups, try to do it as best form as you can. Try to refrain from kicking too much. Of course, in the beginning, you're gonna kick because it's going to be hard for you to do pull-ups. But as you get better, try to refrain from kicking. So that way, you'll get the best workouts for forearms, and for the back. So just regular pull-ups like this. Just doing regular pull-ups. This is a great exercise for the back. So now we're gonna move on to shoulders. So for this next exercise, I'm going to show you guys how beginners can start working out the shoulders. So for this, you'll need like a little bench, something like this that's pretty low, or anything that you can find to put your legs on like this. So what you're going to do for this exercise is you're going to go in a form like this with your butt more up like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go down with your head more into here. So don't go forward like this, go in this way, like this. Of course, for the beginners, it's going to be really hard to go all the way down. So you can start off by going just a little bit down. And remember to try to keep your butt more up like this. And as you get better, go lower and lower. So another thing you guys can do for shoulders is leaning against the wall or the tree. But that's a little bit more advanced and harder for beginners. So start off with this first exercise. And as you get better, you can move on to doing it against the wall or a tree or anything that you find. So for this next exercise, we're going to work out our traps. For this, you need a lower bar, or the best is what you can use is a dip bar. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to hold on like this. We're going to go under the bar. This way like this. And what we're going to do is for the traps, we're going to focus. So we're going to pull ourselves up, our body, and so what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze our traps. So like this. So don't focus a lot on just picking yourself up with your arms. So you're supposed to focus on working out your traps by squeezing them like this. So picking yourself up and squeezing them like this. So this way. As you can see, when I was pulling up, I didn't really pull myself up as much, because you're not supposed to. All you're supposed to do is, when you're pulling your body up, is to squeeze those traps like this. So find a comfortable spot that's not too low for you and not too high, of course, like this. Because if it's too high, like this, you're barely gonna get to it, barely any workouts. But if it's hard for you to go lower, you can start off by doing it higher, and then start going up lower and lower. And if you have a dip bar like this, what you can do is you can also do it a different way, which I found more comfortable. So if you have a dip bar like this, what you can do is you can go in the front of a dip bar like this. So not on the sides, but in the front. So the same thing like this. and by squeezing your traps this way like this. So this is going to be a good exercise for the beginners to start out working your traps. Of course, there's much better exercises, but this is going to be the easiest exercise to start off for beginners. So for the first part, we're going to start off with our calves. So what we're going to do for the calves is we're going to start off by just starting to pick ourselves up like this on tippy toes, like this. And the best way to work out for this is ask someone to push you on the shoulders. So that'll be the best way to work out, because it's going to be pretty hard to train your calves by just doing it yourself. Or if, like I said, or you can get a vest, something heavy to put on yourself. That should be really good to do this workout. So it's pretty simple. Just go on tippy toes and focus on your calves. These muscles over here. Just pick yourself up. The best way, like I said, is for someone to push you. Tell them to start off just by a little bit and increase the pushing. That should be a great workout for the calves. Then after that, next exercise for this upper legs muscle over here like this. So we're going to do is these little exercises. So we're going to do is spread out a little bit more like this, go down, and we're up over here like this. And as you get better, learn it to do it on one leg like this, and this should be a great workout for the upper part of the legs muscle over here. Same thing with the other leg, switch and do this exercise. So the next muscle that we're going to start working out is lower back. This is the muscle that most of the people don't really work out, and most of the people skip it. So the best way to work this out is on a dip bar that has two bars pretty close to each other like this. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to start off with the easiest exercise, which is this. So we're going to do is go more in down like this, and what you're going to do, keep your legs straight and just pick it up as high as you can, like this. You should really feel your lower back this way, like this. After you get used to doing this exercise, you can switch to doing a much better exercise, which is this. The only problem about this exercise is going to be it's going to hurt in the beginning, because you might take some time to get used to, because it's going to press on the bones right over here, hip bones or whatever they're called. So what you're going to do for this exercise is you're going to go up against the second bar over here, lean against the other one, and you're going to go down and pick yourself up like this. So that's why I recommend, if you have something soft that you can put, that should be really helpful so it doesn't hurt on the hip bones right over here. And there you go. That's a good exercise for beginners for the lower back. So the only muscle that's left are the side abs. So, but the problem about this is this exercise is pretty difficult to do for the beginners, but don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. So how this exercise looks like is like this. So this exercise has named windshield wipers because that's how it looks like. So this is how you're going to do this exercise. So you're going to keep your body straight and you're going to churn to the side like this. So that should be a really good exercise for the side abs. Of course, it's going to be really hard in the beginning to keep your body straight, your legs straight, and churn. So what you can do in the beginning is first learn how to hold your legs slowly by picking them up, and try to hold them lower like this if you want, and get better by picking them higher and just hold them at 90 degrees. Once you learn how to hold it at 90 degrees, you can start doing it a little bit to the side. So remember not to do this with momentum. Try doing this all with your core, with your body, and turning like this. So in the beginning, you can start off just by a little bit like this, and as you get better, start trying to turn your whole body like this, more to the side. And there you go. That should be all the muscle that you guys can work out for your body. The only thing for you guys to do now is to start practicing and start training. And I hope this video is going to be helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.